The Galactic Council was a group of leaders from many different alien races. They met in a large, shiny chamber filled with strange lights and odd machines. On this day, the atmosphere was tense. The council members had gathered to discuss a growing problem, Earth and its inhabitants, the humans. Counselor Zorak, a tall, blue-skinned alien with big eyes, stood up to speak. He was respected for his knowledge but feared for his harsh views. "We must talk about these humans," he said, his voice echoing in the room. "They are reckless and unpredictable. Just look at the reports." The other council members nodded, their faces serious. Counselor Tila, a small green creature with long ears, pulled up a holographic display. It showed images of a recent human mission to a distant planet. The images were shocking. Humans had landed on the planet, curious and excited, but things went wrong quickly. They did not follow the rules set by the council. Instead of studying the planet, they accidentally destroyed a research station, causing great harm. "The humans do not understand boundaries," Tila explained. "They act without thinking. We cannot trust them." Counselor Bren, a creature with shimmering scales, raised a hand. "But they are also resourceful," he argued. "Look at how they build their ships and explore space. Perhaps we should learn more about them instead of fearing them." Zorak shook his head. "Learning about humans will not change their behavior. They are dangerous. They have a history of violence. We must protect ourselves." As the debate continued, more stories emerged. One council member shared a tale of a human soldier who fought bravely but also caused destruction. Another told of a human scientist who created a powerful weapon. With each story, the fear in the room grew. The council members began to see humans as a threat rather than a curiosity. They spoke of Earth's strange customs and violent past. The tales of human wars and conflicts echoed in their minds. Some members believed humans might attack them if they got the chance. Meanwhile, Counselor Ika, an ancient being with many arms and glowing eyes, listened carefully. After a long silence, she spoke. "What if we try to communicate with them instead? We could invite them to join us to share knowledge and ideas. Perhaps they can learn from us as well." Zorak scoffed. "And what if they refuse? Or worse, what if they see us as weak and decide to conquer us? We must be ready for war." The room buzzed with disagreement. Some members wanted to learn about humans, while others insisted on preparing for a possible attack. It was a dilemma that seemed to have no easy answer. The council's fear of humans began to take shape into plans for a stronger military. As the meeting dragged on, the atmosphere grew heavy. The members were torn between curiosity and fear. They had never faced such a powerful and unpredictable species before. Humans were unlike any race they had encountered in the galaxy. Their emotions were raw, their drive for survival fierce. Zorak continued to push for a defensive strategy. "We must gather our strongest warriors and build our defenses. If humans come here, we will show them that we are not to be underestimated." The discussion went on for hours, with ideas flying back and forth. Finally, the council reached a decision. They would send a team to observe Earth. This team would study human behavior, looking for weaknesses and strengths. They would gather information to help the council prepare for the future. As the council adjourned, there was a lingering sense of unease. The members knew they were entering a dangerous game. The humans were not just another race, they were unpredictable and wild. The council had to decide quickly. Should they fear humanity or learn from them? In the end, as they left the chamber, one thought echoed in their minds. Why are humans so terrifying? The council was determined to find out. On a distant and rocky planet, a small group of human astronauts faced a desperate situation. Their ship, the SS Discovery, had crashed during a routine mission. Now they were stranded on a world that felt both strange and hostile. The crew consisted of Captain Alex, a brave and determined leader, Sarah, the resourceful engineer, and Mark, the skilled medic. Together they needed to survive. As they emerged from the wreckage, the team surveyed their surroundings. The air was thick with dust and the ground was uneven. Towering cliffs loomed in the distance, and strange creatures roamed nearby. "We have to find shelter and food," Captain Alex said firmly. "We can't stay here for long." Sarah nodded, her mind racing with ideas. "I can fix some parts of the ship, but we'll need to gather resources first. Let's split up and look for anything useful." The team agreed, knowing they had to work together to stay alive. Mark stayed close to the ship, checking for any medical supplies. Meanwhile, Alex and Sarah ventured into the rocky terrain. They moved cautiously, listening for any signs of danger. As they climbed higher, they found a small cave. "This could work as our shelter," Alex suggested. "It will keep us safe from the elements and any wild creatures." Inside the cave, they discovered some old supplies left behind by previous explorers. "Look at this!" Sarah exclaimed, holding up a can of food. "It's not much, but it will help us survive for a few days." They quickly stored the food and made plans to return to Mark. As night fell, the group gathered in the cave, sharing their fears and hopes. "We need to signal for help," Alex said. "But first we have to make sure we're safe here." They set up a watch system, taking turns to keep an eye on the entrance. In the following days, the team worked hard to survive. Sarah used her engineering skills to fix their damaged equipment, creating makeshift tools from the wreckage. Mark treated minor injuries and kept the team's spirits high. "We can do this," he would say, encouraging everyone. Captain Alex kept the group focused, reminding them that they were capable of overcoming any challenge. As they explored their surroundings, they encountered the planet's wildlife. Some creatures were large and intimidating, while others were small and curious. One day, while foraging for food, they spotted a massive creature with sharp teeth and thick fur. It was unlike anything they had seen on Earth. Panic surged through them, but Alex held his ground. "Stay calm! We need to observe it," he whispered. To their surprise, the creature did not attack. Instead, it sniffed the air and slowly backed away. "It seems we are not the only ones trying to survive here," Sarah noted. This experience made them realize that they were not alone in their struggle. Days turned into weeks, and the team's bond grew stronger. They learned to trust each other and work together as a unit. They also discovered new skills. Alex became an expert at tracking the local wildlife, while Sarah excelled at making tools from the planet's resources. Mark became a source of comfort, often telling stories about Earth to lift their spirits. As the weeks passed, news of their survival spread across the galaxy. Other alien races watched closely, amazed by the humans' ability to adapt. Some aliens began to admire the humans' strength and determination. They realized that humans were not only capable of great destruction, but also incredible resilience. Back in the Galactic Council, members were shocked by the reports. "These humans are more than we thought," Counselor Tila said, her eyes wide. "They are surviving against all odds. We must understand them better." Zorak frowned, still unsure. "But this strength could also be dangerous. They could rise up and attack us if they choose." The council members debated this new information, realizing that humans were a force to be reckoned with. Meanwhile, Captain Alex and his team prepared for their next steps. They knew they needed to send a signal for help, but they also understood that they had to be cautious. They were proving themselves, showing that they could survive and thrive even in the harshest of conditions. In this alien world, the humans were not just surviving, they were showing their strength. The council would have to take notice. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of a much larger story about the true power of humanity. Back in the Galactic Council's chamber, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and tension. Counselor Tila stood at the front, her holographic display flickering with images of Earth and its people. The members of the council leaned forward, curious about the humans they had only heard rumors about. "Today, we will learn more about humanity," Tila announced. "We have gathered stories from many sources. Let us begin." The first image appeared, a human family sitting around a table, sharing a meal. "Humans value family and friendship," Tila explained. "They often gather together to support one another. This bond makes them strong." Counselor Bren, who had been skeptical of humans, frowned. "But do they not fight among themselves? Their history is filled with wars." "Yes, but every species has conflict," Tila replied. "Humans have fought many wars, but they also show great courage in times of trouble. They unite when faced with danger." Next, the display changed to a video of human astronauts launching into space. "These humans are explorers," Tila continued. "They have traveled to the moon and beyond. Their curiosity drives them to seek new worlds and new knowledge." The council members watched in awe as the video showed humans working together in zero gravity, solving problems and conducting experiments. "This teamwork is impressive," Counselor Ika said thoughtfully. "It shows that they can put aside differences for a common goal." As more images appeared, stories began to unfold. Tila showed footage of a human scientist who discovered a new vaccine that saved millions of lives. "This is Dr. Mendez," she said. She dedicated her life to helping others. Humans can be compassionate and caring. Bren looked interested. "They create things that help their own kind? Maybe we have misunderstood them." Then came a video of humans celebrating various festivals. Colorful parades, fireworks, and laughter filled the screen. "These celebrations bring joy and unity," Tila explained. "Humans love to express themselves through art, music, and dance. It is a way for them to connect." The council members began to see humanity in a different light. They realized that humans were not just a threat, they were also capable of great kindness and creativity. However, some members still held on to their fears. What if they used this creativity to devise new weapons? Zorak questioned, his voice tense. "They could become even more dangerous." Tila nodded. "That is a possibility, but we must understand them first. If we build a connection, we might avoid conflict." Meanwhile, Counselor Aika proposed an idea. "What if we send a team to Earth? We could meet humans, learn from them, and share our own knowledge. This might help us see if they are truly a threat or if we can find common ground." The idea sparked enthusiasm among some members, but raised concerns in others. "What if they attack us when we arrive?" Zorak warned. "They could see us as intruders," Ika replied, "or they might welcome us as friends. We will never know unless we try." After much debate, the council finally agreed to send a diplomatic team to Earth. They chose a small group of diverse aliens, each with unique skills, to represent their races. The team would be led by Tila, who was determined to learn more about humanity. As the council prepared for this mission, news of their decision spread across the galaxy. Many alien races were curious about the humans, eager to see what would happen. Some were hopeful for peace, while others remained fearful. Back on Earth, Captain Alex and his team continued their survival efforts. They had made a signal device from the wreckage of their ship, hoping to call for help. Little did they know that the Galactic Council was preparing to send a team to meet them. In the quiet of the cave, the human astronauts shared stories of their lives back on Earth. They spoke of their dreams, fears, and the strong will that kept them going. The more they shared, the more they realized that they were more than just a team, they were a family. As the days passed, the tension in the council room shifted. The members began to see humans as complex beings. They were not just warriors, they were creators, dreamers, and survivors. They faced challenges with resilience, and their hearts held the capacity for kindness. By the end of the session, the council members felt a mix of hope and uncertainty. They were eager to learn about humans, but also wary of what they might discover. Would the humans welcome them, or would they be met with hostility? Only time would tell, and the council's decision would shape the future of their relationship with Earth. The day of the meeting had finally arrived. Tila and her team of alien diplomats stood aboard their ship, the Star Voyager, ready to travel to Earth. As they prepared for takeoff, excitement and anxiety filled the air. Tila felt a mix of hope and worry. This meeting could change everything for both humans and aliens. "Are we ready?" Tila asked her team. There were 4 members: Zorak, a tall alien with scales; Aika, a small, quick creature with bright eyes; Ryler, a wise elder with multiple arms; and Janny, a skilled communicator. They all nodded, determined to make the meeting a success. The Star Voyager soared through the galaxy, and soon Earth came into view. The blue planet shimmered in the vastness of space. As they entered the atmosphere, Tila felt a surge of excitement. "We're about to meet them," she said, her heart racing. They landed in a large field, far from any city. Alex and his crew had set up a safe zone for the meeting. They wanted to create a peaceful environment, away from distractions. As the hatch opened, the humans stood ready, a mix of curiosity and caution in their eyes. "Welcome," Captain Alex greeted, stepping forward. Tila smiled and bowed her head in respect. "We come in peace," she said. "Let us learn from each other." However, as they gathered in a circle, things took an unexpected turn. Mark, the medic, had been watching the aliens closely. He noticed Zorak's scales shimmered unnaturally under the sunlight. Suddenly, Mark blurted out, "Are you hiding weapons? We cannot trust you." The other humans exchanged nervous glances. Alex stepped forward, trying to calm the situation. "Mark, please, let's not jump to conclusions. We agreed to meet peacefully." But the tension was already rising. Zorak, feeling threatened, straightened his posture. "We are not here to fight. We come with open minds." His voice boomed, making the humans flinch. Janny, seeing the situation escalating, tried to intervene. Let's focus on our common goals, he urged, but it was too late. The air crackled with tension. Sarah, the engineer, whispered to Alex, "We should have prepared better for this. They could see us as a threat." Alex nodded, his mind racing. He needed to find a way to defuse the situation before it spiraled out of control. Just then, Ryler, the wise elder, raised a hand. "We have come to share knowledge and understanding," he said slowly. "But if fear rules this meeting, we will accomplish nothing." His calm demeanor helped ease the tension a little. However, Mark wasn't convinced. He took a step back and said, "You have to understand that we've faced danger before. Trust is hard to build when you come from a place of fear." The humans began to talk among themselves. They were wary but also curious. Tila could see the fear in their eyes, but she wanted to show them that the aliens were not enemies. "We wish to learn about your strengths and weaknesses," she said, trying to steer the conversation back to peace. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed from the forest nearby. Everyone froze. It sounded like a creature was approaching. Panic spread among the humans, and Alex shouted, "Get ready!" Mark raised his medical kit, while Sarah positioned herself near the ship's door, ready to defend if necessary. Zorak, sensing the fear, shouted back, "Stay calm! We do not want to fight!" As the noise grew louder, it turned out to be a group of large, wild animals rushing out of the trees. They had been startled by the ship and were fleeing for their lives. The sight of the creatures sent the humans into a frenzy. They grabbed makeshift weapons and prepared to defend themselves. "Stop!" Tila cried out. "They are not our enemies," but her words were drowned out by the chaos. Mark shouted, "Get back! We have to protect ourselves!" In the confusion, someone accidentally triggered a flare gun from the humans' supplies. A bright red flare shot into the sky, lighting up the area. The wild animals scattered in fear, and the aliens were momentarily blinded by the sudden light. The situation had spiraled out of control. Tila felt disheartened as she realized that the meeting was a disaster. Instead of building trust, they had created fear and chaos. The aliens backed away, unsure of what to do next. As the dust settled, Alex took a deep breath. "We have to talk about this. We can't let a misunderstanding ruin everything." The humans nodded, but the rift had already formed. The meeting ended in confusion and disappointment. Both sides returned to their ships, realizing that understanding would not come easily. They had come to learn about each other, but left feeling more divided than ever. In their hearts, they all knew this meeting was just the beginning. They would have to face their fears and learn to trust each other if they ever hoped to find common ground. The path ahead would be challenging, but it was necessary. The aftermath of the chaotic meeting weighed heavily on both the humans and the alien diplomats. Back aboard the Star Voyager, Tila sat in her quarters, staring at the glowing screens filled with data about Earth and its inhabitants. She felt a deep sense of frustration. They had come in peace, hoping to forge a bond, but now it seemed more difficult than ever. Across the galaxy, Captain Alex and his crew were trying to make sense of the situation as well. They gathered in their makeshift command center, surrounded by maps and communication devices. The air was thick with tension. "What do we do now?" Sarah asked, her voice laced with concern. "We can't just ignore what happened. They might see us as a threat." Alex nodded, his mind racing. "I know, but we can't act on fear. We have to find a way to communicate with them again. If we don't, we risk escalating the situation into a war." Mark, still anxious from the earlier encounter, spoke up. "What if they come back with an army? We can't trust them after what happened." His fear echoed in the hearts of the crew. "Maybe we can turn this around," Ika suggested. "What if we reach out and ask for another meeting? This time we prepare better. We need to show them we want peace." Alex considered Ika's suggestion. "That's a good idea. We need to clear the air. We can show them that we want to understand each other." Meanwhile, on the Star Voyager, Tila was discussing their next move with her team. "We must reach out to them again," she insisted. "We cannot let fear dictate our actions. We need to show them we mean no harm." Zorak, still troubled by the earlier chaos, voiced his concern. "But what if they react the same way again? They seem quick to anger." Ryler the Elder spoke wisely. "Sometimes the path to understanding is filled with challenges. We must take the risk if we want peace. Let us propose a new meeting, but this time with clear intentions." With determination, Tila activated the communication system and sent a message to Earth. "We request a new meeting," she wrote. "We wish to clarify our intentions and discuss how we can move forward together." As the message transmitted, the humans on Earth received it with mixed emotions. They want to meet again, Alex said, reading the message aloud. This could be our chance. Mark looked uneasy. Are we sure they're not planning something? What if it's a trap? We can't let fear control us, Alex replied firmly. We need to show them we want to resolve this peacefully. Let's prepare for the meeting and make sure we're ready this time. The day of the new meeting arrived. This time, both sides were determined to make it work. They chose a neutral location, a serene clearing in the forest, surrounded by tall trees and the sound of flowing water. It was peaceful, and both sides hoped the calm atmosphere would help ease the tension. As the Star Voyager landed, Tila and her team stepped out, cautiously optimistic. The humans were already there, waiting for them. Captain Alex took a deep breath and stepped forward. Thank you for coming, he said. We want to make things right. We believe that we can learn from each other if we communicate openly. Tila nodded, relieved to hear those words. We understand that fear can cloud judgment. Our intention is to find common ground and understand your people. The atmosphere was tense but hopeful. They sat down in a circle, and this time the conversation began with questions. Alex asked about their technology, while Tila inquired about human culture. Slowly, the walls began to come down. As they shared stories, the fear that once filled the air began to dissipate. They spoke about their hopes, their dreams, and the challenges they faced. They discovered shared values, love for family, the desire for peace, and the pursuit of knowledge. After hours of conversation, they reached a critical moment. Alex leaned forward, looking directly at Tila. We have a choice to make, he said. We can let fear lead us to war, or we can embrace understanding and build a future together. Tila's heart raced. I agree. The choice is ours. We can work towards peace, but it will require effort and trust from both sides. The two sides looked at each other, realizing the gravity of their decision. They had faced chaos and fear, but now they stood on the brink of something greater. They could either continue down a path of conflict or step into a future of cooperation. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the clearing, both sides reached a silent agreement. They chose peace, a decision that would echo through the galaxy. Together, they could overcome their fears and build a bridge between their worlds, setting the stage for a new chapter in their history. With hope in their hearts, Tila and Alex shook hands, sealing their commitment to understanding and cooperation. The choice was made, and it was the first step towards a brighter future for both humanity and the Galactic Council.